Are you going to put it underneath your pillow for the tooth fairy?
No, I'm going to put it in the garden to have my own skeleton friend.
Thanks for clicking on the video. And here on Nerd Mimic, we are going to talk about what to do with dragon teeth in Dungeons and Dragons. This subject came up recently when I was talking to my daughter about Greek mythology, and she mentioned while reading Percy Jackson, there was an anecdote about Jason and the Argonauts and a part of the story where they buried Hydra teeth and a skeleton crew came out and grew. That instantly triggered a memory within myself of that classic Jason and Argonauts film that came out in 1963. So that is before I was even born, but this movie was televised constantly every year. And the scene with the Hydra teeth being planted in the ground and skeleton warriors coming out and being animated with a stop animation by Ray Hughausen. And that is such an iconic scene within this classic movie.
Rise up, you dead, slain of the Hydra.
But certainly as a young kid in the 70s, this inspired me to read fantasy novels, learn Greek mythology, pick up Conan the Barbarian comic books, and was my gateway into Dungeons and Dragons. What we have in front of us is Dragon Magazine, issue number 98. This was published in June of 1985. And you can see on the cover, it has details about dragons. And within is an article about planting dragon teeth. I'm not sure how many of you out there are aware that you can do such a thing with dragon teeth. I think nowadays most people use dragon teeth to create daggers or arrows or rods and things of that nature. Welcome to the channel where we talk about all manners of nerdy stuff, from board games to Dungeons and Dragons, comic books to toys, video games on Saturdays, and gamer snacks on Sundays. We also do monthly giveaways, and this is our current January giveaway for The Mystery of the Abbey, which is out of print and it's unplayed copy. So I'll put a link down below how you can win this awesome prize, and if you're watching this from the future, you can click our main channel page for our current giveaway. And if you do enjoy the video you're about to watch, hopefully consider hitting that like and subscribe. It's free to you and it helps us out on the channel. Thanks for watching. Let's dive into the article. It's on page 11. We'll just quickly flip through a couple pages here. You can see what kind of advertising was in the magazine back in the day. And right here, towards the front of the magazine, page 11, is this article, The Magic of Dragon Teeth. Now, we'll get a closer look at this. Let me just adjust the camera. Before I do so, let me give you a quick overview of this article. This will discuss how a tooth from a specific type of dragon will spawn a specific type of warrior with certain magical abilities. This will also cover what magical components you need to enchant the tooth to be able to create and spawn a warrior. This was authored by Greg Chamberlain, who has done multiple other Dragon Magazine articles. And you can see the tagline here, pull them, plant them, and stand back. All right, let's dive more into the article. The introduction to this article mentions some silly things you could do with dragon teeth, such as using it as decoration or hollowing it out to make it into a drinking horn. I don't think anyone would actually do that, but regardless, it is mentioned. Now, here at the bottom, they mention what you can do with the dragon teeth and plant them in the ground to make the children of the dragon. Moving down, they mention that to do so, you might need a command word, usually grow. And then it starts to go into the mythology behind this idea and mentions specifically the lore adjacent of the Argonauts. You could see that there. And other background from Greek mythology. All right, and then now it'll go into the types of dragon teeth and what kind of creatures you are able to create from them. Now, the warriors created through this process, it doesn't say that they're actually skeletal in nature. That was more for the film. I don't think they would actually be dragonborn related species either. I think that might be a little bit weird because that species does have certain tropes with it, and these warriors are all a little bit different. So you might have to use your imagination what they might look like. In alphabetical order, we're going to talk about the black dragon tooth that you could use, and it will spawn a warrior in black chainmail. It will have an alignment of chaotic evil, and the alignment will become important if it does not match with your alignment. As the creator, you might not be able to control this warrior. And each warrior created will also have an immunity. And so this character, of course, will be immune to acid-based attacks and can cast one acid arrow spell once per day. With a blue dragon tooth, you will spawn a warrior in blue plate mail. It will be lawfully evil, and it will be immune to electrical attacks and can perform a shocking grasp spell. A brass dragon tooth will spawn a warrior with plate mail. It will be of chaotic good alignment, and it will be immune to sleep spells, and itself can cast a sleep spell once per day. A tooth of a bronze dragon will spawn a warrior in plate mail as well, but this will have lawful good alignment. It will be immune to electrical attacks and can cast a lightning bolt. The next dragon tooth discussed is the copper type, and we'll flip the page to get the details about that. So a copper dragon tooth will spawn a warrior with plate mail and having chaotic good alignment. It will also be immune to slow spells and can cast slow spell itself. A gold dragon tooth will spawn a warrior with plate mail. It will have lawful good alignment, and it might be immune to either fire or poison gas or both, and it will be able to cast a flaming sphere spell. A green dragon tooth will spawn a warrior in scale mail here, and it will have lawful evil alignment. It will be immune to poison gas attacks and cast a stinking cloud spell. A red dragon tooth will spawn a warrior in plate mail. It will have chaotic evil alignment. It will be immune to all fire and heat-based attacks and can perform a burning hand spell once per day. A silver dragon tooth will spawn a warrior in plate mail. Having lawful good alignment, it will be either immune to cold or paralysis or both, and can cast paralysis itself. The white dragon tooth is probably the most interesting. It will spawn a warrior with split mail. It will also have immunity to cold and can cast icy stare. It also has a chance to go berserk and gain some increased combat abilities there. That was all 10 types of dragon teeth. The next part of the article talks about what kind of teeth you might be able to get if you found dragon teeth as a loot and what dragon type you might be able to acquire. Then it talks about what kind of experience points you get for doing so. Next part of the article talks about the loyalty of the warrior created. Now, if they are polar opposites, such as chaotic good and lawful evil, there is no possibility of you being able to control your creation. Now, if they differ by one aspect, for example, if one is lawful good versus lawful evil, there is a possibility you might be able to control the warrior. You just have to overcome a saving throw versus spell daily. If you fail to do so, that warrior that you create might attack you or leave or whatnot. Now, if you create a warrior that is exactly the same alignment to you, they are loyal to the death. So the dragon man will continue to live until killed. And they put live in parentheses, so you can see how maybe they might be skeletal in nature. I guess I should correct myself. They're not really undead creatures. They are magical constructs. They and all their apparel and items disintegrate when slain with no possible chance of resurrection or saving. The final part of the article talks about how to enchant a dragon's tooth so you can spawn a warrior. You can't just simply take a tooth and put it in the ground. No, you have to do a lot more than just that. You can see here on the list, there are many different specialized items needed to imbue your tooth with power. So after an appropriate ingredient is found and put into a basin, a low heat is kept burning underneath the basin and the tooth is allowed to steep for 1 hour. The magic user must then cast a limited wish spell over the tooth and let the tooth sit overnight in the mixture. Then the magic user may remove the tooth and perform an identity spell to determine if the enchantment is success. You can see the list here. There's some really rare items, and boy, that would be a lot of trouble just to create this warrior. Now, if you are of the same alignment, I think it might be worth it, as you'll have a warrior that's loyal to you to its death, or your death, I suppose. And that's it for the article. So what do you think? Leave me a comment down below if this is something you might add to your campaign or have your players do. As you saw, the list of ingredients needed to enchant a tooth is quite exotic. So I don't even know if it's worth the trouble to do so when you could simply create a dagger out of it. Regardless, thanks for watching and keep on adventuring out there.